Check. We got sound. Hey guys, as I know there's some of you here this morning. Not many yet. I'm on a little earlier. What an exciting day yesterday with Apple getting more news that sent it up. I know there was a gentleman that was holding that on a swing in the comments. I don't know if he had to let it go as it dropped to 203 or if he hung on for the recovery. He probably had to let it go, which is sad. Which is the story of all of our lives, right? Where the second you sell it, it goes your direction. The second you lose, it suddenly goes your direction. It's sad, right? I mean, obviously that doesn't happen all the time. It seems like it happens a lot though, right? But yeah, so I was definitely going to look at Apple today at the open, even though it's really hard to call. My thought would be there'd be some big profit taking, then it would take off again because a lot of people got the news late in the day yesterday. Let's take a look at when that news actually hit, because you'll be able to tell. Yeah, so it hit after market closed. So it hit right there. So that's like just before. Actually, I wonder if they actually waited to announce that. 17:25. So that's 7:30, just before 7:30. It hit. The market closes at 8, theoretically, even for a post-market. This is the East Coast of the United States, I'm saying. So, and then it just went like from 212 all the way up here. It went all the way to 221. So now it's settling down. So nobody's really had a chance if they don't trade post or pre-market. A lot of traders just don't do it, or their their platforms don't offer it. Their brokers don't offer it. So I expect that there'll be a bunch of profit taking, and then it could shoot down, and then it might make sense to go up with it because the news hasn't changed. I mean, there's nothing new about it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Apple shows how to avoid Trump tariff. Bribe him. Bribe Trump. That's how you avoid. Give him money. Give him what he wants, and he won't tariff you. Well, I mean, obviously I'm in somewhat jest there. The fact that they're building in the U.S. I mean, it really worked. 600 billion. How many jobs would that be? My understanding is it's the glass for the phones, like someplace in Kentucky. Is going to be Louisiana, maybe. I don't know. But that's where they're going to build a big factory that handles all the glass, which had been getting done in India. Don't go by me as your news source, please. But this is just what I had heard. And that's a lot of jobs. That's a lot of money for the U.S. So, hey, let's see what happens with jobs overall and how it overall is going to affect the economy. I'm very worried that the inflation is going to go crazy, as I think interest rates are going to come down. They're going to mark them down in September, October, maybe even maybe up to a half point. And everything's going to be great as we come to the close of the year. The market's going to keep going up. Who knows what Trump might say to ruin that, but let's say he doesn't do anything crazy, because he kind of learned a lesson to not. He's kind of controlling. It seems like to me, and I don't want to talk about politics, but he overemphasizes what might happen as a negotiation tactic, and then everybody panics, like we all did on the market. And then he walked it back 90 days, right? And then everything soared right back up to almost where it was. And now whenever he says anything, it's like the market has built in that kind of turmoil. It's like, well, he's not really going to do that or whatever. But yet he gets it out, it seems, for negotiation purposes, that he's actually bringing people to the table. Shocking, really. And I don't really know if it's true, if we've been treated so misfairly. I certainly wouldn't just believe what he says, but if it's really true that we've been treated so misfairly by the tariffs, I haven't read it, I haven't studied it. That's why I don't know. But, if that's true, then that's why they're going to go along with paying tariffs, right? Because they've known all the while that they're not, it's been an unfair deal. So who knows? I don't trust either side. Honestly, I don't. What I trust is what I see on the market. That's what I trust. It's very, very emotional, the market is. So that's just my 2 cents. But I am not a politician or in a think tank about politics and all that. So you have to take my opinion with a grain of salt. I kind of antiquate myself to the average man and what we all see, and it's kind of hard to know what to make of it, honestly. Let's just see here. I wanted to open a story here and I didn't do it. Oh, there, I was too far down. Okay. Yeah, this is the one I wanted to open. Or did I already open it? Maybe I opened it already. Oh, they just don't have anything on it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is all the news we've already heard. You watch CNBC, you kind of know that Apple's going to be in play today again, which is, I was talking yesterday about like, hey, we're not really looking for stocks with a catalyst. I mean, we are not trading the RV strategy. So what we're trading here, what I'm showing here is scalping. I get confused myself, the message I'm putting forward. So I'm looking for levels, high and low, ceilings and floors to go short and long from. But that doesn't mean we can't take advantage of something that's just breaking the ceiling, then coming back, breaking the ceiling, then coming back. It's the same kind of trade. I get worried that I only chase it up, that I do no retracements. I like to wait. So then what happens then when we trade like that? Then we buy the dips, right? We don't really call it going long off the floor. We call it buying a dip, which might be in the middle of the ceiling and the floor right at head height, whatever. And you're just looking for that dip if it keeps going up and then getting back in, looking for the dip and then getting back, and then trying to take your profit as it moves upwards. So that's kind of a different scalping, mindset. It's not like you see on the momentum traders where you buy high, sell higher, buy high, sell higher, buy high, sell higher, but you actually look for a dip and sell, look for a dip and sell. Or it's not like a swing trade where you just buy and hold. Then you see, hey, I have $100, man. It's just going to keep going up, and then suddenly you're minus 100 and it never really quite comes back again. That's why I like taking that profit as it goes. Yes, you probably won't make quite as much money unless you call those perfectly, right? I mean, but you still make money. You get the money in the bank, right? Get the money in the bank. So our news stories, Trump announces 100% chip tariff, exempting domestic producers. So that's huge. So basically, anybody who starts a building is what he's saying. You don't even have to have jobs yet. He's going to exempt you. But none of these are contracts. This is just him talking. So that's the part that makes me and other traders a little uneasy of holding a position. Then I just talked about that Apple investment of $600 billion in the whole glass factory for the top front of the phones, and more, I'm sure. And assuming that holds true, that's huge. And then I think a lot of other companies are going to follow suit here. So that could really help the economy. That's really good news. And overall, it ends up being a good play by Trump. A lot of crazy stuff he does, but if that's going to work, I mean, man, more power to him there. Apple stock surges off that news. It says here, chip stocks bounce. TSMC, Nvidia, GlobalFoundries rally. This is again all based on that news. You build here, you will not be tariffed. Broader markets are gaining. Mixed earning momentum. I mean, AMD had a bad report. Tesla suffers steep declines due to EV headwinds. Is it really? It looked like it had gone up since yesterday to me. I'll open it up here. Let's just do it here. Yeah, it was at 309 yesterday, right? That's 320. So what is it talking about? Are they looking at a bigger picture? Yeah, look at that. That's not what I would call bad news. I don't know if I can trust. Yeah, I can trust that 10-day fib. It's way up here. So I trust that fib. This isn't really a 2-day anymore, so let's see what that does. That would be from here to here, really. Here. So what is that? That's like 320.50. Why I'm here, I'll just fix this. Remember, these are guidelines, so don't scream and yell, that's not how you do it. I know that's not, there's a lot of ways to set up fib, guys. We are looking for support and resistance for channel, for scalping and trading, like the RV strategy and stuff like that. Even the open strategy would work, day trading volume 4. But look at that. I mean, that's, it kind of respected it on the post and pre-market, dipped off of it. I don't know if I'll be trading this stock. This looks like one to mark because of where the price action is right now. So we want to get that. How does that look over here? Can we smooth that a little bit? Hit a couple spots there. This is where it hit here a bunch too, and then hit. So that's right there is a closer level, like right. It's kind of where it was. That's the most amount of respecting, I call it, or tapping. Probably mark that high there. I don't know. This is probably not a stock I'm going to trade today, but you look at it and just see. You can make fast money on this, but it's definitely riskier to trade Tesla, obviously. So, that's weak. That's weak. About here. That's actually better there. That came back and hit a whole bunch of times. That's where it is right now, too. That's a way better one. Well, if it goes straight down, I guess I will mark this area. Wow, there's just nothing consistent here. I just wouldn't respect that at all. I just don't think there's anything to respect until there is. So we'll see. I was reading the news. AMD faces export restrictions through Q2 strong. Let's see, post-strong growth in gaming were hurt by $800 million. Oh, that's why they went down. Okay, I knew it was. I couldn't remember what it was. $800 million export charge tied to AI chip restrictions to China. So I don't know about AMD. Let's take a look at that. $166. Jim Cramer, that is not somebody I would bet the farm on. Let's see here. Man, that fib is well respected there. Let's see. Yeah, that's too far back, so we got to adjust this fib for the 10-day. Looks like right here, 157.80. I like how it started to consolidate right here quite a bit. So that might be a doable one to try today. Although I'm going to be Apple biased just because I want to see if it settles down and then there's a lot of liquidity and it makes some ceilings and floors, which is kind of what happened yesterday as it was going up. It got us some good dips. I came back later and traded it and did really well. And I'll show you if you didn't see the recap video, or not, it wasn't a recap. It was there was a video yesterday where you got a free scanner. So hopefully you got that. It's still out now with a free scanner on it. and it talked about it's going to be a series of indicators that of videos they want me to do about the indicators because I know them the best, really. So you'll see me represent them on how to use the indicators. So that one was about the scalping indicator, which I'm assuming all of you have at this point. Just making sure this is decently marked here. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm probably going to be, like I said, I'm going to be looking at Apple. I mean, maybe this is a level. It did spike down there. If it ever gets down to 160, that would be kind of tragic. Man, it was all the way up at 180, 186. Yeah. This channel looked really strong, then it just like boomed down off of it, and it kind of held on this channel. And it didn't really hold here. Now it's sort of consolidating, hopefully at its low, and it's going to maybe creep back up where we can get some data to help us. Yeah, that's kind of the news. Magnificent Seven outlook still central to market earnings. Said these mega caps now drive about 1/3 of the S&P 500. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how Apple does today. I'm kind of excited about it. I get wary when I feel that way because I don't want it to affect the way I trade, conservatively. I don't want to be too biased toward something I think is going to go a certain way because we don't know. So it comes back to setting your levels, looking at your indicators, watching the price flow, the same stuff we do every day and get better and better at it every day, and then taking your profit when you see it and don't get greedy and get out at max loss. And that means that lower your share size to a point where you can really play with that max loss, meaning it can go a distance before you hit it. So you don't want to go by my share size and max loss, right? You need to figure out, is it 5 shares? Is it 10 shares? I think there's a comment I haven't answered yet. I at least get to the comments once a week, but how do you expect me to trade with low share size? Trade like I do. I don't. Never have I said that. Do I expect you to trade with low, with a low account balance? I don't. I'm not. That's not what I'm showing here. Sorry. I mean, that's to be blatantly. What I think, I look at most people here having the $25,000 and have made the PDT rule so you can take multiple trades like I do. That's what I do. I take multiple trades. This is not a wait for the perfect setup, take your one trade, for the day, 2 trades, whatever it might end up being on your rotation. That's not what I'm showing here. So yeah, it's not. If you have an offshore account, then and you're able to margin with a couple $1,000 or whatever it is, then you're lowering your share size to the point where these mega caps and large caps might not work for you. It just might. I'm not catering to your style of trading if that's who you are. However, I will say that the same scalping strategy does work just fine with much less expensive stocks. What you won't get is the same way they move. Like when you switch to mid caps, you see the volatility is a lot different on the 1 minute. So if you're going to do that, you might want to switch to a 5-minute chart where you have a bigger play. And I'm not really showing that. I just know that I have done that before. But when I go to show it to entertain people, like on a YouTube thing, it's so boring. And what would happen is I'd end up just like cherry picking the videos, and every video would look like a recap because you couldn't just sit there for a couple of hours for me to make, 5 trades. You would be bored out of your mind. So, and not only that, I would be bored out of my mind. So that's why I like this style of trading. The only other way to get that kind of fax action, of course, even faster, is trading the penny stocks, the really, really cheap stocks, or under $10 stocks, let's just say. Although that's changed a bit where you can get them where they $20, $30, $40 stocks that just spike on the news, but stocks that get catalysts and they're much, much cheaper stocks. And that might be better suited for you if you can't afford to trade large cap because you didn't make the PDT rule. I found a way, a group of traders found a way that we had the money, but we worked with, and the $1 Million Margin Club put out a book, Day Trading Volume 1, to work with the first large cap, mega cap scalping strategy that is very successful. It's counterintuitive because you would think, oh, why would you spend that much money to make, $300 or $500? You're not really spending the money, right? So you are tying it up in an account, though. You are. I mean, it's tied up because you're doing day trading with it. Where can you make that kind of return, though, on your money? And you really don't need that much. If you had like $25,000 to $50,000, you could do pretty much any trading or say $100,000 in an account. You could do any trading that the $1 Million Margin Club does. They margin up from there, and they pretty much don't go more than $400,000 or $500,000 in any particular asset. But yeah, you really need $250K to trade $1 million in one trade. And some people might say that's a lot of money to tie up to day trade. But then again, if you're making $5,000 a day or $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000 a day doing that, which is what they do, then that's way better than sitting it in and watching it grow. You won't get that kind of growth on a daily basis. This is a daily basis I'm talking, not a month or annually. So that's speaking to some people would say it's counterintuitive to tie up that much money to do this style of trading. Now, what I'm showing you here, where I'm making $200 or $500, whatever it might be, is not typically what I do. I go for more than that because I'm tying up more money. I have a lot of money in the various accounts. I'm okay. I'm lucky. I can do that. So it wouldn't be typically what I would do. I'm trying to work this up so that you guys can see the low end with the share size to the high end, but getting much below, say, 50 shares, 50 to 200, like I trade 50 of Tesla, you see me do it. That's pretty much as low as I'm ever going to go. I mean, that's really low for me to show you what I do. This is what I do. It might not be for you. So that's the brutal, honest truth to your comment. Like, yeah, you can't, if you have no money, you can't trade the way I'm trading. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a bad class for you. Thank God you didn't pay for it. But it should be entertaining because you can still learn to trade any share size, and educational, So people are starting to pile on. I think that's about all I would do for AMD right now, and I don't think that's what I'm going to trade this morning. Let me get up to my scanners here. Everything's working, right? You guys are hearing me? Yep. Okay. So we haven't looked at NVIDIA yet. Let's see here. It just took off. There's another one that just took off. I'm first going to look at this historical data to see if I should remove anything. And that one I should remove. That one looks good. That looks good. So the fib, I keep adjusting. There's a 2-day fib. So we'll go ahead and mark a 2-day fib. In case we get over here and trade this. And I do trade, often after I stream. So I like to have these marked out. Now let's get a look at the overall way this is looking. So we're way up at the upper because of what happened. Where's our high? Our high is 185.43. That is the high. That is the stratosphere high. So the fib is picking up this level just fine. It looks like it's rejecting off the high or up this other fib level. That's not the high. Yeah, it's another fib level. So probably, no. Nope, I just don't see that being very strong. we're in this area, so I look for areas here to mark, but it does seem to be stopping right there, which is interesting. Possible that that pre-market area might be respected. Doubtful, but I'll put it there for now. And then this has got plenty of channels in here and nothing else really to look at, so I would say that's it for NVIDIA. Again, I'll be watching Apple in the beginning, but I want to get these marked out. AMD, we looked at Apple. So yeah, this is pretty far up again too. Palantir, that's worthy right there. So that's the 10-day. So we'll mark it. I don't usually like to mark the... Yeah, I shouldn't really mark that. I should go right there. And that 2-day is right to there, which isn't really right. So we're going to get rid of that too. So the 2-day would be like here to somewhere in here to here without changing my chart. This would be the low right here. And it would be, we'll take the 2-day to the, give us another level here. These are guidelines. They're respected till you don't, till they just don't do it, till they blow right through them and mean nothing. So we've got these, all these spikes picked up for the most part to see if they're going to help us. And then we'll be looking at the $1.5 level if I ever get over here. I don't have the best of luck with this stock, it seems. There's so many other ones to look at today. NVIDIA, AMD, and Apple particularly. One of our viewers who emails me is constantly trading Hood, which is interesting. I haven't marked that out in a while. There's a 10-day. We'll give that a quick mark. Got about 5 minutes to trade here, guys. Did not get the sleep I was supposed to get to trade, but I'm going to trade anyway. Got just over 5 hours, which is a recipe for failure. Went out to a concert on the Green, which was kind of fun. Music outside is always fun at night. Oh no, that is a 10-day, right? Yeah, it's 10-day. So that's that there. And I didn't get as much sleep as I would like to have gotten, so. This is going up. Hood's moving right now, huh? Look at that. Everything's nice and strong. With markets overall not looking good. I guess I'll mark some historical here. Guess he's doing quite well over here. That's a smoothed out level. It looks pretty decent there. Maybe even a little higher than that. This one also got hit. The high of the previous day, then hit the next day right there. That might be respected if it comes back down. And we'll go there too. Just a few levels. I can tell you guys, it may seem, almost silly to do this, but it is not. These levels get respected a lot, and the guidelines of using them, like if you're entering 25% and then you're using them sort of like, hey, is it going to turn back around and go my way at that level? I'm not going to mark out Amazon. It comes in handy. Oh, I did not mark Apple? Oh, I thought I did. Okay. Oops. All right, so let's mark Apple, even though it's way out of zone here. 50. That's right on the 50 cent. I will make this pre-market here. That's a 10-day. A 2-day would be way down here. No, here to the same spot. So we'll go ahead and do it. This is just, I probably didn't mark it because of the way the news that this would be unlikely that it would just slow down and channel right in here, but let's mark it just in case. We'll get this. I might be really happy I had these marked if I get into it and there's no time. That's a low on the pre-market, so we'll go there maybe for the dip people taking profit and then go long. That's my idea, is to take this long today, because I think there'll be some profit taking, but I do not think it has realized the news yet that came after the market closed yesterday. So there we go. Okay. All right, guys. We got just a couple of minutes. I think I pulled that up. That's a little too high. Let's get this adjusted. No new news, not recent news anyway. Well, 926. Yeah, that's all good news for what my plan is. I mean, there may be no plan but to go long, which I will do. If it just starts to spike and just doesn't turn around, I'll try to get in as low as I can get in, which I will have missed the original move. I always kind of wait to look for a pullback. Obviously, I say it over and over and over again, you should not trade the opening candle. Remember, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Please seek the advice of someone licensed before you try to emulate any of my trading here. Trade responsibly, practice in a simulator, and only trade with money you can afford to lose. Briefly, I will show you the plan that I follow, 25% of my max position to begin with. Always have a max loss. These are all the different rules. You should, whatever you want to do, make your own day trading rules. That's basically mine. And let's get a look here. We'll shrink that because that's about to explode anyway. So can't really go by the MACD, the buy-sell oscillator yet, not on the pre-market. We've got 1 minute and 5 seconds for the action to start. These were the, off the scanner, these were the watch list ones that I was just looking at. Okay, so now this scanner, this is available for you guys, so you should check that out at the $1 Million Margin Club, because it gives you the 1 minute average volume per candle on a 1 minute, which is really, really helpful. I do have the other one down here too. Hopefully we'll have time to go over some of that other stuff. All right, guys. Get comfortable. One more sip. This is mostly for me because you shouldn't be trading this candle. And then we're going to wait for some consolidation based on the channels that I've been trying to set there, or if any new ones happen to come up. So it already pulled back some, so it might just go straight up here. I think I might just jump in. Didn't get me. Didn't pick me up, and then it went down. So it picked me up way late. That's the problem with hitting it on the first, so it is going to retrace. Got me way up here, right? That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous, right? Ouch. Should have waited for the retracement. I thought it might just pop right up. I am going to hold this for it to come back. So I start to see it come back. I might go into half my position. But that's what I wanted it to do. And I got FOMO missing out. So we're above the ATR. I don't want to make Apple a swing trade, but if it goes down, I will, thinking that it's going to go back up. But this is a bad start. This is why you don't want to trade the opening candle. Had I waited to catch the dip down here, it would have been way better for me. Now, I don't want to go into half my position, 400 shares, till I start to see a turnaround, which it seems like it's starting to do, but no, not yet. So these numbers might seem, high to you, but this is off the grid of what the normal strategy that we're trading here. So this is just a 217. It stopped at dead. I want it to be, I'd love to see a second green candle before I even think about adding. Yeah, it's gonna make me hurt first and make me look bad. Okay, so people took their profits. Things are starting to wash out. This is not a stock to go short on. So now people are going to say, hey, maybe we should ride that up. It stopped at the 217. It picked me up at a terrible. Did you see how it picked me up? I pushed the button at the open and it let it go all the way up. So that was cheesy. It's kind of what you should expect unless I put it in at the ladder. It was just like, that was cheesy, what it did. But let's see some upward movement here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go in based on that upward movement, and it didn't pick me up for some reason. There it goes. Wow, it's really laggy, huh? That was really annoying. So now I'm at 218.37, so I feel a little bit better about my position now, but that was some really lame lag, I guess because we're up to almost 1 million in volume. So a lot of people are excited about Apple. So my position now is right in here somewhere. So at least I'm not at the spike, and I am willing to go to full share size, 800 shares, and get a good decent trade here as it goes up. So let's see if it goes up. I'll add to it if it's. I'm thinking maybe at the 218 or maybe a little lower. I would go to 800 shares. So we're waiting to see it. This is not stuff you guys. This is just visual fun, visual excitement for you guys to watch the professor lose his ass or make some money. I wanted to break 218 solid. There it did. Okay. So I'm in now for 800 shares. Here we go. Can we please show me how much money I'm losing? Okay. So now that didn't really go down much, but I think it's going to continue to go up. So I wanted to add to my position anyway, and then we'll get out as it pops up here. I'm not going to go over greedy, but I'd like it to get up to its spike at least. There's green at least for the first time. So 1837. I'd like to go higher than that, guys. Get it up to 1850 maybe. Wow, it's sputtering, so it's making me a little worried about holding for too long. There we go. I'm going to try to get out there. Oh, that's right, because I didn't up my share size. We'll do that. Oh, whoa! Did you see that? Oh, you Charles Schwab, you nasty dogs, huh? That was over $100. That was a terrible market thing there. That was terrible. Oh my God. You all saw it. Wow. That's not really supposed to happen. This should be big money for me here and, well, whatever. Some money. Instead, I'm minus $2, but that was kind of deserve it. Had I gone out on the app, first of all, I should have upped my shares to 800, and I didn't. That was error number 1, just so I could get out one fell swoop. Error number 2, I probably should have just got out on the ask, and so they couldn't play those shenanigans with me. I was just thinking it wouldn't pick up. I was worried about it picking up. So now I'm going to start to ride these dips. Yeah, I'm going to take that at the 50 cent, and then we're not going to play the reindeer games on this weird delay spread thing that's going on. So we got one trade for like $43. Got green. So I'm just going to play the dips here for a minute, guys, before we get into real channel trading. There's the buy-sell oscillator turning it around. What's exciting, though, I got excited there. I need my little thrill in the morning. So hopefully, if anybody followed that, what happened to me, they actually made their profit. I was thinking about going to 1,600 shares. It's like make $500 on the very first trade. It probably would have made me lose 200. So too early to read this market magnet. I wouldn't get excited by that. So, yeah, stopped at the 217.82. That line has been respected now 3 times. What is that on? Is that, no, where is that? Is that, oh, so that is that one right there. Pre-market level. Wow, you never would think, right? That would be that strong. Well, I'm not going to ride this down. I'm not going to short it. But I will look for another dip here. And I'll trade this a bit longer. It worked out good yesterday, so let's see. So if you were watching me, I was adding as it was going up, thinking it would continue. It kind of stopped right where I got out anyway. So You know, and I should have had a profit, and it just a mess up and a really bad Charles Schwab fill. They made their money. Okay, is it just gonna make new levels? These are the $1.50 levels, guys. Yeah, it might be that we end up banking off a 219 now. Just might not come down. Gotta look at the 5-minute. Spread is not. It's going in the market should be okay, except for that one trade was bad. But yeah, it's just not. It's not dipping. Yeah, it's going above the 219. I have to go into market to make sure I get filled if it dips below there. Oh, that hit me a little higher than I wanted there. I went in 200 shares on 219 even, roughly. I'll get out on the ass the way that it's jumping around there. Okay, you time to pick me up. I am time to, there we go. So I'm looking at the 219 bid area, maybe to jump back in again. Wrist oscillator's turning it around. There's your targets here. Now we're not, are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this is the 9th candle. So these should be able to be fairly respected except for that opening candle. Wow. So it's just going up. This is what happened yesterday. So we have to keep adjusting to the dip, what the dip might be. So it's a bit of a chance. I'm looking now low 70-cent range for a dip. Doesn't look like it. There it is. So I got it at 66. I'll just keep trying to make. It says 73 cents to go for, but I don't think so. No, that hurt me that time. It's not done. It's not done going up. There's no way. Just not going to get greedy as it goes up. If it gives me opportunities, I'm just going to take the money. It's got me red again for the day now. This is actually, I'm kind of liking this because I want to see it turn around and then I jump in it for more share size. Stopped at the 219, nice and firm there. I'm going to get back in, so I'm going to go back in now, 400 shares. Much better position at the 39 as it moves up to make us a nice profit. And yes, I am hovering over market because I want to get filled thinking that it's going to do better for me, but maybe it's going to fade off the 219. That's not looking good. Seemed like it was really going to burst up there, so more than just seem, the price flow wasn't a feeling. I make it sound like that, but just was wrong. So 800 shares is my full size, is not out of the question. Let's break that market magnet. Here we go. I'm looking at 39. I'm at 39 cents now. I would drop in. I would take a profit below the 50 cent, but oh, it's going to make me hurt first. And, it's possible it fades off. I don't think so. It's a nice tweezer move there, which is a little scary. Sending it down. That could be definitely a profit-taking area, but I'd probably get out at the 50 cents here and that's only 11 cents up on 400 shares, so roughly 44 bucks if it gets me there. But now it's hurting me bad. So we're going to look for it to turn around here. Hopefully you're keeping your share size nice and low to what you can afford. Playing with some big numbers here now. This is not a good look. I don't like the look of this. You will see me go full share size, 800 shares, if we start to get a movement up here. Still thinking it's adjusting and it's going to go up today, but anything can happen. Anything can happen here. Pretty confident about it moving up still, but you know, I don't know. I don't really want to hold this for a swing. I mean, MACD says go down. Don't tell it that, Mr. D. I gotta wait for it to really make a move before I go full share size. So, not gonna do it on a this action. It's 218. That is the ATR high right there. There it goes. It's gonna break 219. Yeah. Oh wow, that was fast. Is it going to hurt me again if I go market up here? Here it goes. I can't go market with this stock at that share size. That was, did I make money? I think I made a tiny bit of money. I don't know. That was bogus. That should have been like 50, 60, 70 bucks. Whatever. Fool me once. How's that go? I wasn't confident it was going to keep going, so I wasn't going to go for up to this level, but yeah, that was twice now that I could have. That probably would have been over $100 anyway. Jesus, dealing with that kind of share size. Come on. Do I go short, or is this going to be its continual breakout up here? I think what I'll do is I'll go short off this level and just lower my share size so I have more room to get closer. Okay, so there we go. Tiny trade. Right, that's turning around at that level again. Oh, no, this is the first time I just drew that from the tweezer. Okay. I'd much rather go long down here. We don't really have channels yet. So we're into the 11th minute, and I'm still on Apple, and I'm not doing all that well with it. So let's see. What's everything else doing? NVIDIA's going up. AMD is going up big time. That's recovering. Palantir's staying steady. Tesla's gone down a little. Hood went up for our friend that likes trading Hood. Amazon's up a bit. And Apple's becoming kind of lackluster here. So right now we seem to have channels, you know, 219.71 down to 217.8. So it's a $2 roughly, this whole move. That's too big to try to do what I'm doing. Stopping here now at the 219 pretty firmly. Okay, I'll go ahead and get in there at 82 cents. 82 cents. We know we'll get filled on the smaller share side immediately. Okay, that's decided it wants to hurt me again. I knew that, you know, we could add to it if it turns around down here. This is the 50-cent mark. Or we just get out for a small little baby step trade, and we're happy. Green is green. Starting to turn around there a little. 66, 68. Nope. Too soon to add for sure. Tell you, when it turns around this time, I'm going to definitely hold it a little longer. So I do believe it will turn around. So we're at the bottom of the market magnet. So I would say that if it turns around at the 218 and starts to spring up, I will add to my position. So I'll get a much better position down there. Stalling down there. But not, I'm not overly confident. I'm just going to hold what I have. You know. And I could have been out of the trade making money by now if I picked it up down here, you know. Just there's what I was looking for, more of that kind of a reversal. But now I'm into my position, so. Come on, get up there. That should be about 21 bucks. 5, 7, that's 8. Yeah, there we go. You can't steal from me when I'm doing that way. Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm on the wrong stock. I don't know. If I switch the time it takes to zoom in and stuff, it's just like, I'll just hold this a bit longer. Try to get this up to, our goal is at least a minimum of 150. On this month, you know, that's what we're going for. 150 a day. There's 21 trading days, so it's going to get you well over 3K for the month. Wait on this move. Yeah, yesterday I pull it over here for a minute. This is just this month here. So yesterday I came back and got, you know, so we're doing good on this month right now. So we'll see how it goes. But there was no trade here that I wanted to take. And is it creating a new channel? This price action's moving very slow, which Apple will do. So if it's not doing kind of what it did yesterday, I need to bug out of this stock because it's just moving too slow here. I'll give it another minute or so to see if it's going to do something. No, I don't think so. Let me get over to NVIDIA, which looks actually fairly exciting. There it is here. What is the 1 minute look on you on this puppy? What does that look like here? So we're near the high of the ATR up there. That's what that line is. Do we have any channels here? Yeah, it's kind of respecting. That's the $0.50. This isn't too thrilling either, huh? Let me look at what our action is here. 29 to 5 cents. We're only moving about 5 cents here. Every like 3 to 4. Okay, so that was like 8 cents. Yeah, this is pretty slow. This is pretty slow too. Let me see what Tesla's is actually at its same level, so it might be really channeling nicely. See if we can get something here. Spike down. That's a good move on the 5 minute, looking at that come back. So it looks like it wants to retrace and do some channeling for us. Let's see what it looks like here. Let me just see here for a minute. Okay, so already 12, 15 cents on the swales. So this is saying it's even monies, which is great for channeling here. It respected the fib, which is great. So this looks good. So let's see how this one plays for us. Again, now this is going to be volatile, so watch your share size here. So we're close to the open level, which is this fib. Just want to see if I guessed the wrong way based on what I see here, if it's going to give me opportunities to get in and out on dips. Right now it's just going straight up, but I kind of want to get a feel for this. You can see that the Scalp Pro is just saying it's long as the play right now. But that fib could surely turn it around, which is what I'm looking at. $320.50, and 320 was close to its high yesterday, so it did go up to 321. It looks like it wants to prove something. Well, that's not the best news for Tesla, right? Yeah, that is, though. Where can it go? Okay, so here we go. We're up to the fib almost. Do I sell out there and go for a short? Does seem to be retracing 10 to 12 cents. Wow, there it goes. It broke it pretty fast there. I'm going to hold for a second. No, I could have got it. Wow. That was 11 cents. $11 is all it would have been, but, you know, you just stair step up. It's turning it around. If it turns it around, that's great news, because then we can get into some channeling here. This doesn't seem to be too well respected. A little bit on that level, on the 319.67. Wow, so that was a play. That was a definite short play up there. And this is all, if you know your patterns, you know that's telling you it's going to continue to go down. So now we want to look for a dip to buy it, to see where it's going to respect to go back up. Definitely telling you it wants. Just broke the VWAP. It's resting on the 20 right there. 14.9 and the 20 are right here. So you should see some of these. There's the MACD, and there's the buy-sell sent it back down. Is that level going to get respect again? It tapped it and turned around, boy. Let's take a look at that level. So that was at 67, right? Okay, so that's yesterday's, a bunch of spikes yesterday right there. Yeah, I think this is going to go back up. I'm really looking to play this long off of a dip. How good a dip can we get? The 320 even, perhaps. Keeps going down below that would be way better. Down closer to that 67, which it was, and then I wasn't that sure of it yet to pick it up, but it would have been a great trade. Okay, let's see here. Wants to break it. It's kind of starting to make a flat top here, so just biding my time here. Looking for a better entry. There it goes up. Wow, I'm going to take that. So I got that all the way at 121. So let's look for a retracement back down. Something stronger than that, perhaps? Or is that it? Is that it there? So I was at 21. No. So, yeah, we're looking for it to dip back down toward the fib, 50 cents or so. I'll take, oh, I thought that was going to be over $20 for a second. But it was a good trade either way. I mean, now, since it broke it so strong, you know, I wasn't as confident as staying in the short position. So, but often when it goes boom, boom like that, it'll just go right back down. That's why I grabbed it. I say often, never for sure. Let's take a look at this price action here. Right at the top of the market magnet, guy. That's why this is such a great indicator. It kind of tells you what's going to happen. Now, the magnet didn't pull up, and I see no price action coming, and it's below it still. So there's not a lot of confidence sending it up here. That was a good on the Scalp Pro. It was really strong. Of course, multi-chart alignments, everything's up. That is a hangman reversal sign, showing that it's going to go back down. So that's Day Trading Volume 2, the Candlestick Pattern Playbook, guys. Learn that book. It's the only book that rates the patterns. So, going to go ahead and go off that level, so 62. And I'm thinking that it's still shooting up. And I'll try to get a small trade there. Yeah, so that was just a small trade. So we broke 100 when you combine the two. Should be way higher than that. I really feel like Schwab took some big money from me. So I think I'd be up to the 250s by now. But I do plan to call them, and I recorded this so I could show them. Because when I press the key is not when I got the price. So I don't know. It's hardly worth it for 100 and something bucks, but I'm not using the rerouting here that I normally use, where I always get filled. Their rerouting system for me, but for a lot of traders. But that's bad. That's what traders complain about. Those kind of fills. I mean, come on. If that just kept happening, that would be almost impossible to make money. You can count on it, at least scalping. So yes, I will be calling. I'll let you know what happened. I don't expect they'll give me money, but someone will listen to me. 42. That hit 42 on the ask at one point up there. This is just 100 shares, so should get filled. So looking for it to get closer to the 50 cent, which is where it stopped already today. So let's see if we get a rejection off that level or anywhere close to it. That was 40 cents on the ask. It's fading here. Come on. There's a big punch. That should hit it. That should hit the 50. It's swailing like 20 cents. Yeah. That shows 25 there. Lot of profit areas here to make profit if you catch them just right. Wants to go up today. So I gotta get that. Didn't get it. Canceling order. Try to get it at 49. I already would have had a trade. The longer it takes to go through it, the more worried I am that it won't come back. So I am just chasing it right now. I'm just realizing that I'm not really doing well. There it went off to 50. Darn. It hit it and just went right down. All right. So you look at this data and you would say, is it due to break down or break out through this little flat top it's making? Multi-chart alignment says breakout. Stock market says breakout. Target said breakout. Scalp Pro said breakout, and it broke out. While I was telling you, there it went. Went all the way to 22. I'm going to go ahead and get in there off that. 2204. There we go. Small retracement. Definitely playing with fire the way it's moving up. It might start to retrace all the way down here. So I broke the 150. Made our goal. If you've made your goal, you should stop. Here comes a nice big strong retracement. I don't think it's going to keep going down. I think it's going to go up. I looked at it, tapped that. Yeah, that even dollar, that 321, it just stopped dead there. There, now it broke it. Cancel that. Didn't like, if it picked me up, I didn't want it anyway. It was at 99. Definitely looks like it's going to go right back up from looking at the level 2. Can I get a dip here? A little bit bigger dip than that, please. One more chance at this before it shoots up, I think. Try to get that. There, I got it. Okay. Now you're supposed to shoot up because that's what I said. Okay. Who is not listening in the Tesla office? There we go. Kind of thought it would come back down again too, so I could try it again. So 8. I'm looking at the bid right now, and I'm looking at the overall swaling, which is still saying it's going up big time. So the dip is going to be hard to catch here. Now this ever changes, so I have to, could start to say it's going to go down. So I've got to really watch the way higher highs and lower lows here as it swells up and down as I'm in the moment here. And then I kind of take it in with all the other moves all at once, which now are starting to say that you might want to think about going short, because you look at the other data. So market's going down. What's everything else doing? Nvidia's still going up. Apple's up, 219. That's kind of where it was, right? 219. AMD's way up. Wow, we should probably get a look at that in a minute. So that's recovering. Oh, wow, look at this. That was 322. That was tempting. 322.23 is its high. Tempting to go short. Yeah, I was looking to go short and get a retracement, then ride this up. This wants to go up. Everything's going up right now, so I catch it retracing for a second, then ride it up as it goes back down. I'd like to see it come back down to ride it high, because otherwise I'm just chasing this. I'll try that. So what did I get that at? 96. Baby trade. Is that the beginning of a retrace? Should have held it longer. Come on, get down here to the 50 cent, and then you'll see me jump in here. Nope, it wants to go up, guys. It's going its strong move up. Just don't like chasing stuff. There it goes. I should have chased it. FOMO. I should have chased it. Oh boy. Now we're due for a big red candle. Let's get a big red candle, or I'm switching to AMD. I need a big red candle here. This 1 minute needs to be red, or I'm moving on. Give me a red. Nice, big, and red. Here we go. It's down to the 63. I'll take that. That's close enough, guys. What I get it at 63, then it dropped to 50. But that looks like a good push up now for me. So 63, let's get it back up here to the 22 level. Or if it comes down here, I can add to it as it turns around. I think it's going to turn around. It's not done. That is my assessment of the situation. Just 100 shares, so we're playing it cool. The longer it takes, of course, the more worried I get. Go back up there where you were. $321 is a good spot for it to pivot and turn around. That would put me $63 down on those 100 shares. There it's going. It's turning around. It's twice. Nope. Oh, I'm glad I didn't add, because I was thinking about it. There it goes. Wow, it's acting weird. I don't like the price action. It's one of the reasons I don't trade Tesla a lot, is because it's really wacky on its level 2. It's really all over the board, and you wonder how many people, how many algorithms are like trading this stuff, you know. That's twice now, MACD. I'm going in, so I'm going to go ahead and go in. I got it down to 47 cents based on that move that it's pounding upward, so, which I thought it would do sooner, but, you know. Good. I think I got it good. I got it good, didn't I? Yeah, I thought it was only going to give me $8. That was one of the ones where when I pushed it, it actually worked in my favor the way it did it. But let's get a look at AMD here. So we're over 200. after it should be like 400 probably, or 300 at least. All right, so what's AMD? So it's stair-stepping up. What I'm really interested in is what's happening right here. 7. That was 12. Okay, that's moving enough to make some good trades there. Woo! Straight up, though. It's kind of the same thing, huh? I was thinking that 1 minute might give us a better look here, so let's see. What has it been? No, really, that's just like Apple yesterday, huh? Look at that. Getting back to where it belongs, which is up in the 180s near NVIDIA. Of course, it hasn't split as many times. So I like the fact that we have the magnet to work with here, too. This is good, the market magnet. So tweezer moved up there at 172.50, had this fib for a failsafe. We're looking for a turnaround right here. It's on the 14. I think I'm feeling pretty confident to buy in this level, which I'm going to do. So I bought in. Oh, I would have probably been at 100 shares. I didn't look at where I was, but there it goes. It's already had some big money there for me. So $28. Yeah, this looked like it was just, that was its pullback, and I made a quick assessment to get in on its pullback right there. So let's see if it pounds down even lower. Yeah, oh, 72. I saw that it was higher than I wanted on that pullback, but that was a quick trade. So I'm pretty sure we broke 200, and we're looking for more of a pullback. Wow, it's all the way down to the 50. I'm going to take that, guys. I'm going to take that and ride it up. It was twice it could have picked me up. It didn't. Holding, just in case. Holding for it to swell. Wow. I saw it suddenly turn down on the level 2. I'm like, I don't like the look of that, because I was up $20 for a second. But there it goes. So that's not good. So here's our first 5-minute pullback. What does this really look like here? Cancel that order. This is a good look here, guys. I like the idea of adding to this as it turns around. Find that 40. Go up to half share size if it gives me reason to think that it does. Okay, so I'm back in. Actually went up in position, because when I hit it, it went way up when I hit it. So that didn't work the way I wanted, but I think it's going to recover up here. So there was 23. I could have got out. It went down. It's just pounding its way up to a bigger move. So let's get it up there. You know what I think I'm going to do this time, because of how weird it's acting. I'm just going to sell market if it gives me an opportunity up there. Yeah, that was nice. And it kept going. So 400 shares. This is actually a really fun one to trade right now, the way it's moving. You know, so it did respect this level and came back. So can it break up here? I'm not going to go long right now, but and I don't want to go short till it gets higher. So, but this is now consolidating. So it may decide that 172 is the high for a while, and we can trade off of this. So this is a good level, guys. I don't know if you're how many are with me, but I like the look of this for the day so far, especially if it stops here and starts doing this kind of action, because it's giving a lot of price action on the volume. Volume's almost 500,000. So it's kind of the sweet spot, really, to trade this strategy. Okay, so we broke the 172. There's the fib at 22. Going to get up there? Is it going to fade? I'd like to see it get up here to almost 72.50. And then I'd go short, knowing that it will retrace some, feeling fairly confident that I would get a retracement. But this is chasing it, so I would worry here, going long. That's a smooth level right there, so it's not much to look at. In fact, I think I'm going to take it away. I look at the 50 cents as more, respects me more. So I would want it to come down here where it tweezered. This is a better spot on that tweezer move. And that's right in between the half and the whole, so that's good. I don't have much longer to trade, so I was just I'm going to stick with you guys here just for a few more minutes. I don't want to push the trade because I'm running out of time to trade with you, so I'm holding out for it to get above this fib. I'd like to see it at the fib or above, and then we'll take a short. That's what I'm looking for. It may happen very fast, so I'm hovering over the sell market to make sure I get picked up. There's 10 cents on the ask. Hit 10 twice, 3 times. It's trying to break. Is it going to fade off that? 12, 14, 17. Almost up to the fib. Not quite. Couple of trades I could have taken already on there, 10-cent trades. You know, it's $20. You know, there you go. That's like $40 right there. Darn. So it did not hold the fib. The buy-sell oscillator and the market magnet both said no. The fib said no. That is a great level to trade off and see it even way back here. Okay, so see this coming in here? That's going to push the price action up if it stayed, but it cut off. Okay. All right. I thought we had a move there. I was getting excited. 50 cent. This has hit it 3 times here. I'm going to take it. We're going long there. Tried to pick up a quick $22 there. 71. There you go, $22. So that was a good trade, guys. I would trade this. This would be me if I stayed. This is a really good trade. But anyway, I'll be doing, hopefully doing some sort of a recap or another video, but maybe it's hard to do 2 to 3 videos and trade 3 different sessions. So it's like I'm becoming like a really, really full-time trader, but I'm sticking with it, and hopefully this is good for you guys. I'm getting a lot of good comments that it's good. Please reach out if you think it's worthy of continuing this type of trading. But anyway, thanks for watching. Always stay inquisitive and go green out there, and I will see you next time, which should be pretty soon.